Now let's talk about applying the six gifts. The first step in applying the six gifts is to always lead with love. This means rather than coming from a starting point of hate, anger, or resentment, we let love be the emotional starting point of each interaction. By leading with love, we start from a place of compassion, acceptance, and empathy. This sets the foundation for the giving and receiving of the other gifts. The next step in the process of giving and receiving these gifts is to always focus on filling each other's emotional tanks. We all have an emotional tank. There is a lot in life that drains our emotional tank each day and takes away from our happiness. As our needles get closer to E, we start to be less capable of effectively managing our interpersonal relationships, conflicts, and we might even become more depressed. This is why it is important that we keep our emotional tanks filled. Each interaction you have with another individual provides you the opportunity to fill their emotional tank simply by giving that person any one of the six gifts and meeting their base emotional needs. Think about it this way. Do you want to be the person that fills the emotional tank of others or takes away from it? After every interaction you have with another person, reflect on whether you filled that person's tank. If you emptied their tank, think about ways that you can refill it. This is where seeking forgiveness and repair can come in. The next means to apply the six gifts in our daily lives is to effectively communicate our feelings. Too often we get lost talking, or even worse, arguing about the words or actions which has upset us. What we need to discuss rather is how the words or actions made us feel. If we cannot truly express our feelings, we will struggle to be heard and understood in the manner that we are truly intending, thus activating our negative core and enemy mindset because we do not feel accepted or understood. It is important to understand what it is that you are truly feeling before communicating. For example, sadness can easily turn to anger. Let's say that your partner goes out with his or her friends and stays out really late at night. The base feeling you may experience is sadness, but then your negative core kicks in and the enemy mindset turns that sadness into anger because your heart or maybe even your trust has been broken. Now, rather than speaking from a place of sadness, you are speaking from a place of anger. It is important when we are speaking with others to not be reactionary. When communicating with your partner in this situation, lead with the feeling. Then explain why you felt that way. For example, I really felt sad and lonely the other night when you stayed out late with your friends because I was really looking forward to seeing you and spending some quality time together. Ensure that your body language and the tone of your voice is expressing safety and not aggression. Otherwise, this can incite the other person's fight or flight response and activate their negative core. Now, if your partner applies the six gifts, they should respond something like this. I am so sorry that it made you feel this way. I had not intended to hurt your feelings. You are really important to me. What can I do next time to ensure that you don't feel this way? This statement shows love, acceptance, empathy, respect, and seeks forgiveness. This creates the opportunity for repair and the retention of trust. Another daily activity that we can use to apply the six gifts is to be what I call all ears. When someone is speaking to us, we sometimes tend to prepare our own responses in our heads while the other person is still talking. By doing this, we can miss important details or misinterpret what is being said, which can lead to conflict. Even worse, the person speaking will not feel heard, which is one of the base human emotional needs. When we are listening to others, it is best to be all ears. Actively look, listen, empathize, accept, respect, and support the person who is speaking. When you are all ears, you are present in the conversation, and you demonstrate that what the person is saying to you is important and of value. Now, let's get into the next way we can use the gifts. How many of you have played sports and dealt with this type of coach? In the Positive Coaching Alliance, we talk about being a palms down coach. This is not a palms down coach response. More than likely, this player made a mistake, and rather than being supportive and empathizing, the coach yelled at him for his mistake. Is this going to fill or empty this child's emotional tank? A palms down response tells the other person it's okay and provides reassurance. This same concept applies to all relationships. Your child spills their milk. Are you going to be in their face to make them feel even worse about what they have done? Or are you going to turn this into a growth opportunity for your child to learn how to own and atone for their mistake? A person with a growth mindset is going to be palms down. A palms down approach creates safety and an environment free from judgment. The next manner that we can apply the 6 gifts in our daily life is to validate each other's truths. When we validate another person's truth, we do several things simultaneously. We lead with love, we show acceptance, empathy, and respect. We calm their negative core, and we also meet their base emotional needs of feeling heard, accepted, valued, and safe. When we fail to accept another person's truth, we deny them their dignity and autonomy to perceive the world from their lens. Another technique you can use to give and receive the 6 gifts is to practice the art of repair. This is important as it relates to the gift of forgiveness, trust, empathy, acceptance, respect, and love. The concept of repair in the forgiveness process refers to steps taken by both parties involved to mend the relational damage caused by a transgression. While forgiveness is a crucial aspect of healing, repair focuses on rebuilding trust, addressing the impact of the harm, and working towards restoring the relationship. Practicing the art of repair requires you to first validate the feelings of the person you have wronged. This allows them to feel heard and accepted. The next step is to express your intent to the individual you wronged. Intent refers to the underlying purpose or motivation behind a person's actions. Intent helps clarify the motivations behind the actions that cause the harm. Understanding intent can influence how the person who was harmed perceives the actions and affect the outcome. Repair involves a commitment to change and personal growth. The person who caused harm should demonstrate a genuine willingness to learn from the experience, make amends, and take concrete steps to prevent a recurrence. Repairing the relationship involves a gradual process of rebuilding trust. This often requires time, patience, and a series of positive interactions that demonstrate reliability and integrity. When all these steps have been completed, true repair can occur. There are so many other ways that you can apply the 6 gifts in your daily life, but these are just a few I thought I would share. The last thing I will leave you with in this lesson is to simply ask you to always lead with love and to be kind to one another. We are all struggling to make our way through this human existence, and we all have the same base human emotional needs. Let's fill each other's emotional tanks and ensure that we all have our needs met. In our next lesson, we will conclude this virtual workshop. I will see you there.